Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Paramatma Purushottama Sri Bhagavati Sameda Sri Bhagavate Namaha. May the one who is all, who is in whom is all, bless us to be successful, happy, peaceful, and prosperous. Dear devotees, today I am going to answer a question that has been raised by one of our devotees after listening to our video, Can we experience the God? He has said that we are convinced after listening to many of the videos, including this, that we can truly experience the God. But then, why Guruji, you are not putting the video of how to experience the God openly? Why you are saying that we have to practice and learn Shakti Yoga and all those things? Why not you make it completely public? I wanted to take up this for discussion and explain the real situation. I would also ideally like to do that. But the Vedas have given certain prescription as to how a Vidya has to be imparted. Vedas declared a Vidya should be imparted only to those who have Viveka, Vairagya and Mumukshatva. Otherwise it says it won't be serving any purpose. Vedas declare that you have to divert water to a field which is having plants, but not to the field which is having weeds. So, unless you know which is a plant or a weed, how will you direct your water flow? And also it says that you have to pour the alms or the blessings to a vessel which is capable of holding it. Patiram arinju pichai idu. It may look very ludicrous, but it is not so. Assume that in Sai Baba temple, one day they have made a wonderful milk kheer, and a person comes there with his big vessel to collect as much kheer as possible. And if that pot or the vessel is having a hole at the bottom, what will be the use of pouring that kheer? The kheer will be lost. Therefore, the vessel has to be assessed whether it is capable of holding that kheer. Similarly, Vedas declare a Vidya has to be imparted after assessing whether the person who is going to receive the Vidya is capable of holding it. And for that only it has put these conditions. But we have diluted. We are putting only one condition or expecting only one condition. That the person who wants to learn this great Vidya should have the desire to learn and be serious to learn. If he doesn't have the seriousness and desire, whatever you may tell, it is not going to be of any use. Take the class as an example. A teacher very seriously teaches. The student is sitting there, but his mind is not there. He is not serious. Therefore, whatever the teacher teaches, is it going to be registered by the student? So, the teacher has to ensure that the student's mind is there. Therefore, minimum requirement that we are asking is that you have to be serious and you have to be particular, that you should have a desire to learn. That is what we are asking for. We are not asking for anything more than that. And only then you will know the value of what you are learning. Otherwise, it will just go over your head. And this procedure of selecting a student of correct quality is the practice that has been in vogue from the Vedic times. And there are many situations where the gurus have refused to teach to a set of students when they have not fulfilled what is required or expected out of the student. This is so in other religions also. If you take the early Judaism, they have a system of baptism. What do they do? In baptism, the guru pushes the Shishya into the water and holds him under the water and sees whether he is able to withhold the pressure of not having air. And only when he survives it, he is considered to have taken the second birth, because trying to learn spirituality is a second birth. Physical birth we have all taken, but when we want to learn spirituality, it is a second birth. You are flying from the physical body to the spiritual body for the eternal bliss. So therefore, these verifications of the capability of persons have always been in vogue. Actually, Jesus was declared an avatar quite in his early days itself, because the Guru realized that he kept him for the longest time under the water, but then he did not have any difficulty. Guru declared at that very moment that he is God's incarnation. Of course, today baptism has been reduced to cake and wine. Same is the case with Hindu religion. We have this Upanayana. Upanayana is not wearing a thread. Upanayana is taking you close to the God. It is called Brahmopadesa, where the Upatesa of the Brahman is done. This thread is just an indication and reminder to that guy that you are practicing Brahma Vidya, so you better follow the strict principles of a Brahma Vidya student. It is like a policeman who wears an uniform. The uniform doesn't make him a policeman, but the uniform reminds him that you behave like a policeman, because anybody can wear that uniform and go. Does he become a policeman? No. The uniform reminds the policeman that you have to behave like a police. Similarly, this thread reminds the Brahmana that he has to behave like a Brahmana. We are all becoming second born. We are taking a second birth, Dvija. When we move from the physical body to the spiritual body, we are trying to take flight into the sky of bliss, sky of spiritual bliss. Now, even the birds are Dvija, twice born, because when they are born as an anda or egg, and then it breaks open the egg and flies as a bird. So it is a Dvija. So when you want to fly into the bliss world of spirituality, you should have certain qualities. A bird which is within the egg, if it doesn't have the quality, if it cannot open the shell, it can never become a bird. It will die within inside. Therefore, certain qualities are required to become a spiritual seeker, a spiritually successful person. That is why Vedas have prescribed certain things. Now, there is also another problem. Many people talk to me that, I have seen in Google Saturn and Mars are in Kumbhalagna, therefore I am going to have a lot of problems. I tell him, on what basis you are saying that? He will say, no, I have studied in Google, it is like this. If Saturn and Mars are together, it will create these problems in Kumbhalagna, this problem, that problem. He will give all his statements, and the source is Google. then I have to tell him, my dear devotee, Sun, Saturn and Mars being together in Kumbha Lagna means the world is having 900 crore population, and for 75 crore population it will be so. Are you telling me that for 75 crore population it will be the same result? You have to assess the individual horoscope. What is the lordship of Saturn, Mars, at which degree it is, and what yogas it has got, what are all its other important features in the horoscope, what is the Charakaraka ownership of these planets, where is it located from the sun, from the moon, from its natal Saturn, natal Mars. So many factors, more than 900 factors have to be assessed before you come to any conclusion. So then you will say, okay, Guruji, now you tell me. Now the problem is, if you are going to just take it from Google, this is the issue. These are all personal vidya. It is not a common, big notice vidya. I have seen the same problem happening in medicine also. Some of my doctor clients have told this problem, that patient will come and tell me, can I take this medicine, can I take this medicine, that medicine will be better. When I ask him from where you have come to this knowledge, he will say from Google. So I have to tell him, Google is not your doctor. If you believe Google is a doctor, better go to Google, don't come to me. Same is the case with, many of the people who say, I am practicing this vidya, that vidya. Once one guy told me that he is practicing Dasa Vidya. I told him, what? He said, yeah, I am practicing Dasa Vidya. I told him, who gave the Upadesa? I said, no, I have learned it from Google. I told him, look, Dasa Vidya is a serious subject. It is like a steroid. If you take a steroid, somebody has to prescribe that after assessing that you need the steroid, and he has to caution you what are all the side effects, and also he has to give you the antidotes for that. Otherwise, the steroid itself will become a disease for you. So, this kind of big notice vidya will be very dangerous, because neither it will serve the purpose, and on the contrary, it can create so much of problems for the people. So what is required is our real keenness and desire to learn the Atma Vidya, the Atma Sadhana, Atma Jnana. If we have that, we are more than willing to teach you. The problem is not that any restriction or unwillingness to teach. We are willing to teach to everybody, but they should have the minimum requirement of the desire to learn and the preparedness to learn. If they have this, rest of the things we can create in them, that Vairagya, Viveka, all those things can be created. But this desire and keenness, they have to develop. You cannot push somebody without his interest into any major thing. It is a major development in a person's life to try and realize God. It is not a child's play. And for that, what is required is minimum this. That is why we are saying that be clear in your mind that you want to learn. Because once you learn, you are going to be totally different. Your life is going to be totally different. And we will be more than happy to play that role to change your life. But you should be prepared. And you should have that willingness. And it cannot be, as I told you, thrown in the open like a bit notice. And it either doesn't serve any purpose, or it falls into false hands like that Google Dasavidya or Google Medicine or Google Planetary Combination. It can only create confusion. Therefore, my dear devotee, the only reason why we are making it a personal teaching is because we want to teach to those who have the desire, keen desire, willingness to learn. And it is not only learning, then he has to practice. Therefore, he should be prepared to spend his time with the devotion to get benefit out of the learning. So, as I told you, there is a Vidya portion and then there is a sadhana portion. So both of things has to happen and therefore he should be prepared. You would have seen in our prayer that may the one who is all, who is in all, in whom is all, bless us to be successful, happy, peaceful and prosperous. Therefore we confirm and declare that may the one who is all, that is God is all. We confirm scientifically that God is all. There is nothing beyond the God. God is all. Who is in all? That God is in everything, in everybody. And in whom is all? Everything is in the God. Therefore, we are saying with scientific authenticity, with complete clarity of mind, that God is everything, God is in everything, and everything is in God. If such a secret, sacred Brahma Vidya has to be learned and then practiced and thereby invoke the divine energy within you to make your life successful and happy, you should at least have the desire and willingness to learn. Am I right? That is what we are looking for. Once you have that, we are going to teach you in one-to-one way, because as I told you, it cannot be through a bit notice. Therefore, my dear devotees, develop your interest to learn the Atma Vidya and Atma Sadhana. That will make your life completely different. It will change your life once and for all. And once you have the willingness and desire, contact us. We are more than willing to be with you, to be a part of your glorious and successful life. May Lord Rishabharuda bless you all to be successful, happy, peaceful and prosperous. Om Rishabharuda Parabrahmane Namaha.